My husband said divorce would ruin me, not him. When my husband told me divorce would ruin me and not him, he said it with a smile. Not a nervous smile, not a joking smile, a confident one. The kind of smile someone wears when they think they've already won. We were standing in our kitchen, the same kitchen I painted myself 3 summers ago. The same kitchen where I packed his lunches, hosted Thanksgiving, and stayed up late helping our daughter with science projects. While he worked late, he leaned against the counter, arms folded. You won't survive this, he said calmly. You don't make enough. You don't know how the real world works anymore. Divorce will destroy you. I'll be fine. And for a split second, I believed him. The setup for context, we've been married 14 years, 2 kids, a mortgage in the suburbs, 2 cars in the driveway, a golden retriever named Cooper. From the outside, he looked like one of those matching pajama Christmas card families. Behind closed doors, not so much he handled the big money decisions. That's what he always said. He managed investments. He filed the taxes. He reminded me constantly that his job paid the real bills. I worked too, part-time marketing consultant, but he liked to downplay it. Cute little side hustle, he'd call it. Over the years, I stopped arguing. It was easier. Until the night I found out about her. The discovery, it wasn't dramatic. No lipstick on collars, no hotel receipts falling out of pockets. It was Venmo. Late one night, he left his phone on the couch while he showered. It buzzed. I glanced at the screen. A payment. 1,200. The note weekend read. My stomach dropped. I didn't confront him immediately. Instead, I did something I hadn't done in years. I paid attention. Over the next 3 weeks, I quietly gathered screenshots, statements, emails, calendar entries. He wasn't even trying that hard to hide it. Business trips that didn't exist. Client dinners that lasted until 2 a.m. The worst part wasn't the affair. It was the arrogance. When I finally confronted him, he didn't deny it. He sighed like I'd inconvenienced him. This is exactly why divorce would ruin you. He said, you're emotional. You don't think strategically. Strategically, like this was a board game. The threat. That's when he delivered the line. You'll never get what you think you deserve. I have the better lawyer. I make the money. The court won't side with you. You'll be lucky if you can afford that house on your own. He thought fear would keep me quiet, and for 48 hours it almost did. I barely slept. I imagined losing the house, moving into some tiny apartment, explaining everything to the kids, starting over at 39. Then something shifted. If divorce was going to ruin someone, why did he sound so desperate to scare me? The quiet plan. Instead of arguing, I smiled. Not because I was okay, but because I was done reacting. The next morning I called a lawyer. Not the flashy one with billboards, not the one he'd bragged about knowing. I found a woman recommended by a friend, 25 years of experience, calm voice, sharp eyes. She listened, didn't interrupt, didn't judge. Then she said something that changed everything. Let me guess, he controls the finances? I nodded. She smiled slightly. They always think that means they control the outcome. What he didn't know here, what my husband didn't realize, our state is equitable distribution. Hiding marital funds very frowned upon. Courts don't love arrogance. I had documentation, all of it, every suspicious transfer, every account he forgot to mention, every time he used joint funds for his weekends. When he was served, he laughed. Bold move, he texted me. That confidence started to fade. During mediation, his lawyer's expression changed first, then his, especially when my attorney calmly laid out the financial records, including an investment account he thought I'd never find. Turns out being underestimated has advantages, the outcome. Fast forward 8 months. I kept the house primary custody, child support, spousal support for a transition period, half of every marital asset, including the retirement accounts he was so proud of. He had to sell the luxury SUV. He moved into a downtown apartment, and the woman he'd been sending $1,200 weekends to, apparently she wasn't interested in dating. A newly divorced dad splitting assets. Funny how that works. The real twist. Here's the part that surprised me most. Divorce didn't ruin me, it clarified me. I expanded my consulting work into full-time. I doubled my income in a year. I sleep better now than I did for the last 5 years of that marriage. The fear he used as a weapon, it was just projection. He was afraid of losing control, afraid of exposure, afraid of not being the one holding all the cards. He said divorce would ruin me. What it actually did was remove the weight I didn't realize I'd been carrying. If you're reading this, if someone is telling you that you can't survive without them, ask yourself why they need you to believe that. Healthy partners don't threaten collapse. They don't weaponize money. They don't smile when they say you'll fail. Sometimes the person who claims they're untouchable is standing on the thinnest ice. Now I'm curious, have you ever been underestimated by someone who thought they had all the power? What happened when you stopped being afraid? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. And if you've been in a situation where someone tried to convince you that you couldn't make it without them, did they end up being wrong eyes?